3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
Good morning, good people. Welcome to A to Z Sports Live. We are streaming live on YouTube, but of course, I am your host, Will Skywalker. Still, boom. What's happening, man? What's happening? Coming up today, I wanted to dive into the film room. I wanted to take a brief look into the only thing that was really working on Monday night. It's the Cowboys run game. So we're going to take a handful of plays. We're going to break them all down. In the roundup, though, we get an explanation from Bones Fossil about that special teams gaffe. And I don't know if I'm buying it much, but I want to know your thoughts on that situation. Plus, we have an update on Demo. It's not great news, but it's not the worst news. So we'll break that down as well. Good morning, Bomb Squad.
Bomb Squad!
How y'all doing? How is everyone? The Monday night games always mess me up because I'm thinking, Tuesday, tape Tuesday. It's Wednesday. So we're already halfway through. It's hump day. Like I said, we'll break down some film. And then, I didn't think I would be taking a look at the Panthers the way I'm going to, but two not so good teams, the Cowboys, going up against a squad that'll be fighting, that has been fighting. The Cowboys have been fighting as well. So we're going to have a little fun with that and break that down tomorrow and Friday. But today, I wanted to look at our guy, Rico Dowdle, this offensive line, a couple of plays, some creative play calling as well was done in a few of these plays. And, it's just one of those things with the run game, a little too late, right? I'm still not bringing back a Mike Solari or Mike McCarthy in that way. It's just frustrating because some of the things you see them doing, you wish was happening earlier in the season to help out Dak when he was here in this pass game and this offense in general. But I guess it's never too late for the actual players because the players are putting film out there to try to secure a job for next season. And Rico Dowdle is trying to get signed somewhere, if not signed to return back here in Dallas. So we'll take a look at all that and have a good one, Cowboys Nation. All right, let's get into this roundup first, and then we'll talk to y'all.
It's time! It's time! It's time! It's time!
It's time.
It is time for...
It's time for the morning roundup. Round 'em up, boys.
Yeah, I had a feeling I didn't change that one, but no worries. Bada bing, bada boom. Realest guys in the room. Yeah.
Yeah!
So Bones Fossil, I guess he's fallen on the sword here for his guy. That's what it seems like for me. This was Bones Fossil explaining the muff punt play at the end of the game that ultimately cost the Cowboys. He said, quote, Amani said that he heard the crowd, which was significant, so he turned back to see what happened, and the ball was bouncing at him. He didn't know that it got blocked. He didn't know if it was a fumble. He didn't know that the ball was there where it was. So he just reacted like I would. See ball, get ball. I watched the play over and over and over and over and over again. I get it, man. No one's perfect. It's a mistake. And I'm not here to harp on him. He's not going to be here. He's a practice squad guy. This is just me looking at Bones and like, Bones, we got all 22, right? Like, Bones, there's NFL Pro. Like, Bones, we can replay, right? I know you want to look out for your guy and everything, but dude, what are you teaching these guys? And if you think he's blocking, he hears the block or what have you, or the thud, the crowd goes wild, he turns around. He has about, I'm not lying to you guys, at least close to 15 yards from where the ball bounced to and then where it got to him, maybe 10 yards. I'm hoping his teammates are screaming, Peter, get away, whatever it may be, right? I'm not sure in what special teams room you're taught right there to go after the ball. If you were Jalen Tolbert, if you guys remember this play from last season, I think it was, maybe it's a couple years ago, can't remember. You remember the play where Jalen Tolbert gets blocked close or into, I think it was, into Kevontae Turpin. The ball bounces around Jalen Tolbert. He thinks that the ball got touched by Turpin and he tries to fall on it. He doesn't get it. The other team gets. That is way more understandable because you're getting pushed into Turpin. The ball is bouncing around, hitting guys. You think it hit you or them, so you try to fall on it. Amani turns around and watches the ball fall down, then bounce 10 yards to him. His teammate behind him, which he can't see. I would hope he would say whatever the word is. Maybe he didn't. But Amani tries to scoop it. It's not like you're back there with Turpin. So who could have possibly touched the ball 15 yards from the line of scrimmage if it's not a block? So I appreciate Fossil trying to fall on the sword here. I'm just not buying it. Cowboys Nation, are you buying Bones' Fossil explanation here, saying that he's just doing or reacting how I would? See ball, get ball, because he didn't know if it was a fumble. I just have no clue how the hell you think it's a fumble 15 yards from the line of scrimmage with the ball 20 yards in the air. I don't get it. Are you buying that explanation? J Money said no. Turpin was sick. You know, Turpin did his shake shit. You know how Turpin gets. He did his shake dance, but he did it in anger. Matt, you funny. Matt said James Harden walk-off gift. Hey, YouTube, y'all need to put some gifts. Y'all need to add gifts to this thing, man. They need to add, if they added gifts to the comment section, that'd be lit. Yeah, I'm not buying it. AZ's not buying it. Demetrius called Fossil an idiot. Still, them boys said stop the cap. Yeah, man. I ain't buying it, man. Sorry, Bones. You have to try that somewhere else, brother. We got tape. So we waited patiently yesterday to get the Marvion Overshown news, and we did. Demo has come out officially tears his ACL, MCL, and PCL, all the CLs, all the ligaments. Tough one. This is Mike McCarthy talking about how the locker room felt and just Demo in general. He said, quote, "DeMarvion is getting ready to have a big surgery in front of him, a significant injury. His physical and football talent speaks for itself. He's such a bright light. He's got a great infectious personality, a tough young man. He is definitely going to be missed. The injury was definitely heavy in the locker room." And we saw, Michael was emotional about it. And a lot of the players were emotional about losing a guy like Demo, who is taking it in stride, just how he does, right? Sucks for him. This is the second year in a row he's torn his ACL. This time it's PCL, MCL with it. The good news, though, for DeMarvion is that he did avoid nerve damage. So this isn't going to be a situation, remember the drop foot and things like that. This is just going to be a standard. I hate to say standard when you tear all the ligaments, but a standard ligament tear recovery, which is still a lengthy recovery, right? So there's still a chance he may not play the entire 2025 season, given that he tore it so late in the season. However, there is also a chance that he may return at some point in 2025, likely later in the season. But just another linebacker in a long list of names that the Cowboys just can't seem to catch a break, man. I mean, Sean Lee, now listen, Sean Lee, Bruce Carter, Jalen Smith, these guys, LVE, you drafted these guys knowing that they had some type of injury concerns coming in, and the Cowboys like to take those chances. And three of those guys, and Sean Lee, Bruce, and Jalen, are second round picks. But not just those three, LVE, right? And now DeMarvion Overshown. And then there was the kid. Y'all remember the kid from South Carolina, Cowboys Nation? It was just at the tip of my tongue. What was the kid's name? Y'all know who I'm talking about. had the neck injury. There was some promise that he showed. It wasn't like we didn't know if he was going to be an amazing player, but his career was over before it even got started. Was over before it got started. I thought it started with an H. Y'all remember what I'm talking about? Was it Holloman? Yes, it was an H. I think it was, like you said, Holloman. Just injured his neck, I think, in the preseason, and that was a wrap for him. So, yeah, the Cowboys just cannot escape. Yeah, the backer from South Carolina cannot escape linebacker injuries, and unfortunately, they're going to be right back in the runnings for another linebacker in this draft. They have to. I was having this conversation with somebody the other day. I said, Devontae Holloman, yes. I said, unfortunately, that was my bro Lee. I was like, unfortunately, you're going to have to treat DeMarvion Overshown like he doesn't exist. That's something that we talk about around draft season, around a free agency off season. It is certain players you just have to treat as if they don't exist, so that you're not handcuffed to saying, well, you know what, we got him, so we don't need, right? And when it comes to injured players or unproven players, young players, sometimes you got to say, okay, we know he's here, maybe as a depth guy at the worst, but we can't rely on that. Therefore, I have to go into the draft or into free agency looking for said position. And I think linebacker is going to be one of them. Would look like a promising future for the position is now another big question mark heading into it. Another big question mark. You know, something else I was thinking just randomly, like when you look at the list of those names, Sean Lee, Bruce Carter, now Demo, LVE, Jalen Smith. I don't know if I go to linebacker either, Mike. I mean, I just don't know. There's not good luck here in Dallas with players playing linebacker. You know, stay on defense. No, but seriously, it's like, man, it's just so unlucky. You know, so unlucky if you play linebacker for the Cowboys and you are a really good player at one point, right? I know LVE gets to, or not, yeah, LVE too. Right? LVE gets the treatment he gets, some of it rightfully so. Jalen Smith too, but I mean, these guys at one point were really good backers, whether I've been in college or an all-pro year as a rookie, and then it was over. Man, they had Toxic, Damone Clark, Jabril Cox. Jabril Cox and Damone didn't suffer any like major injuries here, but they were injured guys. That's for damn sure. Man, I don't know, man. You feel me? I might just be like, you know what? It ain't looking too good back there with this organization. I'm going to go ahead and keep playing up here because, you know, the Marcus Wares of the world seem to pan out okay. Anyway, before we jump into the film or what have you, we do got a caller. Let's wrap to Cowboy Mike, who called in before the show even started. What's up with you, Cowboy Mike?
What's up with you, man? Hey, man, listen to what you was just saying. Something hit me, man. If we had some D linemen to keep the linebackers clean, they might not keep getting hurt.
I don't think that's the case, my boy. What happened to Marvin Overshown, he just got rolled up on. Sean Lee already came in. Say again?
I just seen it like his leg was stuck on the turf.
No. He got rolled up on. Somebody rolled up on his leg, yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you want to say get D linemen to make your defense or linebackers better, absolutely. But that's not the case that's happening to these dudes. LVE just has a brittle neck, right? Jalen Smith came in with a bad knee, so that ain't got nothing to do with defensive linemen.
Guys,
there you go. There you go. Yep. Stop drafting the dudes that are already injured coming in.
Get your butt ready. Get your butt ready, bro, because I'm tired of this shit, man. This is foul, bro. To see what I seen Micah yesterday, man, all that stuff come up out of him on camera, bro, Jerry and them better sit down and have a serious little soul-searching moment. Because even now, I'm like, they bringing McCarthy back, bro. They bringing him back. So I'm sitting here thinking, who can we get as an offensive coordinator to somewhat give us a chance?
Don't think about that because it's not happening.
Right now, bro.
Cowboy Mike, put this in your head right now. If Mike McCarthy returns, there is no offensive coordinator coming here to save the day calling the plays. That will not happen.
Damn.
It will be Mike McCarthy's
I really
offense.
Love the Cowboys. I really love the Cowboys, man. I really do, bro. Because this is crazy. This is a toxic relationship. I got reeled back in because we won 2. I kept it half full, and I was expecting, we going to compete, but not lose because we just took a gun and just shot ourselves in the head. You see the ball coming, dude. Third grade. Peter. My son.
That's what I said. That was the word. Peter, and you get away. That's taught from, like you said, Little League.
But, man, hey, the last time, I'm going to get off here, but the last time we talked, man, there's one little light, man.
What's that?
And Rico Dowdle, man, big ups to Rico Dowdle.
Absolutely.
That boy came in his lunch pail, bring his ass to work, do his job, and run people over. But you're going to stop giving him the ball, and you're going to stop giving it to CD, and then Turpin going to get a few touches against this horrible defense in the Bengals. Man, this is garbage, bro.
Well, that's a fantastic segue, man. Appreciate you, Cowboy Mike. Be safe out there.
Hey, y'all stay up, man. Y'all, we just gotta stay being loyal, man. It'll turn around.
At some point. All right, brother. Great segue right there because he's right. Rico Dowdle, that's why you see the thumbnail today. Run, Rico, run. He running. First back-to-back 100-yard game by Cowboys since 2022. And that was the Tony Pollard year where he was just going berserk. And, also a year where you had a tandem situation. But, yeah, Rico the last 2 weeks, granted, I mean, you can – I said this against the Giants, and I'll say it against Cincy. If you want to look at the type of defense you're playing, okay, fair. I'm not going to fight you on that. But I just want to look at how he's running, right? And how he's performing. And it is night and day in regards to his vision, his assertiveness, his burst, his instincts. He honestly looks like a different runner from the first few weeks. And I think a lot of that has to do with what Rico has been. Rico be telling y'all in these interviews. Hey, man, that's why I've been saying, it's about rhythm. Fair enough. That is very true. They weren't, I should say, giving you rhythmic opportunities earlier in the season because of that, because of that, they were forcing a significantly worse back to try to get him in a rhythm as well. And neither were able to get in the rhythm. Plus you had offensive line issues. You had play calling issues. It was just all bad, man. Last 2 weeks, O-line issues have not been a problem, really. I think the offensive line has played some good ball. They've been blocking well. Don't look now. Terrence Steele, baby. 3 games in a row, baby. 3 games in a row for Terrence. He has not surrendered a sack. Last 3 games, only 2 pressures. He's playing well. Brock Hoffman playing well. We talked about Brock has a major opportunity right now to showcase and plant his flag as the leading candidate for right guard next year. He's got 8 games to do it. BB was playing some good ball at center. He got hurt. We'll see what happens. And then Tyler Smith, that is. The left tackle situation, we'll see what happens. But O-line's playing some good ball. Here is Rico Dowdle talking about that offensive line and talking about what the game plan was going into that Cincinnati game.
That's what we talked about coming through the week. Trying to run it, control the time of possession, keep their offense. They got a high-power offense, so try to control the time of possession and keep them off the field. I think we did a good job. A couple plays out there. Just sticking to our bread and butter. And like I said, been about rhythm from the jump. And those guys up front are doing a hell of a job these past couple weeks. It starts with them. And that's something that we harped on during the week. It's going to start in the trenches with the guys up front. They set the tone, and they opening the creases for me, and it's working out for us as offense.
Indeed, they do. About the time of possession, they lost that by a good bit, man. 7 minutes. and we talked about this going into the game. We were using analogies, a Princeton offense, 4 corners, San Antonio Spurs, half court, whatever. We knew this team with that quarterback and this play caller could not get into a shootout or could not give the Cincinnati Bengals more opportunities at bat, right? And they gave the Cincinnati Bengals 7 minutes worth of more opportunities, and not good, right? Like you can't do that. But he damn sure right about that O-line. That O-line set the tone early and often. And we talked about this yesterday. In first glance, I talked about how, man, if you looked at yards before contact, I bet this is a season high for Rico Dowdle in this offensive line. They looked dominating. They were. There were. You'll see some of these plays we're going to get at. They moved the line of scrimmage. They controlled the line of scrimmage. They played on the other side of the line of scrimmage. And then Rico, in that rhythm, in that flow, showcased that vision, some quickness, some burst, and got some really good plays out of it, Cowboys Nation. Let's dive into it. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Real quick, I saw We the Boys just dropped 2. He said, shout out to Rico. You think they'll re-sign him? I think they'll attempt to. I'm sorry, I hate to be cynical this way. My worry is they do try to give him a respectable contract. He takes it and they say, well, we don't need a back now. I don't agree with that. I still think you need to get a back in here. I still think this needs to be at the very least, 2 quality backs that you can run at teams. That's just the way it is. I don't think Rico is that workhorse type of dude. I know he's carrying a load the last few weeks or what have you, but for a full, not just 17 game season, but for a full 3-4 year contract, I don't believe that's the case. He's still an injury prone guy throughout his career. If you're going to bring him back, please compliment him. That's all I'm asking for. Personally, I'd explore my options. Rico will probably explore his, and we'll come back to the table and see what's up. But the free agent, we'll get to it in the offseason. The free agent, you missed the boat in free agency last year. That was the year. This year, there's not a lot of great backs out there, but the draft is deep. The draft is very, very deep. You could easily get 2 guys if you want. Cowboys probably won't do that, but if they wanted to re-sign Rico and then get another back, I would highly recommend getting another back. That's all I'm saying about that. But I do think they'll try. I think they'll try. All right, let's jump into this film room. There are a handful of plays here I want to get at. And first off, we'll start with one that was a clunky play is what I'll call it. But Rico Dowdle and a couple of the offensive linemen did just enough for him to rip off a really solid gain. I think this was a 12-yard array here, but we see this often in the Mike Solari offense. It's clunky and how this plays out. We'll just go ahead and run the play right now. Just let it go so you can see Rico Dowdle rip off this 12-yarder. But you'll see when we play it back, they're going to run this kind of shotgun and get a pull from Tyler Smith. And I think what they're trying to do here is get Terrence Steele and Jake Ferguson up here on the second level, right? They want to get Terrence Steele up here on the second level and Jake Ferguson on the second level. The problem is when they do this and Terrence has to deal with a guy basically head up on him, what happens if you watch, he doesn't get that swim move quick enough to get to the second level. So now Terrence he's dead, right? This is over, but you do get the pull here for Tyler Smith. Now, if you look on the other side, Chuma Edoga does a good job walling off. He did a good job all game in this type of situation, walling off his guy, creating a lane if Rico wanted to cut this back. But take a look at Cooper Beebe, man. Cooper Beebe was fantastic in this game prior to the injury. They're going to get a duo down block here, and then Cooper's going to get up on 59, and he not only stonewalls him, but he then roots his guy up out of there. And this is where you see Beebe's play strength just poof, creates enough. Rico, jump cuts enough, and he gets downhill, makes a guy miss, and we get a 12-yard gain. Just really good play from Rico, good play from BB. But check this out, y'all. I saved the best for last. I see you, Chuma. Watch Chuma Edoga. Just we gotta give Chuma Edoga some credit on that one. I just saying. He wasn't that great in pass, but in that run game, there was some plays there where Chuma did some good stuff. So shouts out to Chuma on that play. But the reason why I say this is just a clunky play, because look how it plays out. Brock Hoffman, he misses, but he recovers pretty decently right here. If you see Brock, here's Brock over here. I'm sorry. He misses this guy right here, but watch the recovery and just fine work. Just fine work, Brock. Gets just enough of Pratt to allow Rico Dowdle to get up there. But we often see this clunky play style happen. I think it was a little bit too cute, in my opinion. But they could have did this a bunch of different ways. One of those plays where I love to talk to Vosh, like, how would you have done this? I think they could have did some duo approaches. They could have just did some regular GT type pulls, but yeah, it's Mike Solari. Let's get to the second play. 12 personnel, insert duo. You're going to see Jalen Tolbert motion in here to insert, I believe, right around here. Let's see. Come on in here, Tolbert. Yep. They love to do this insert. They've been using Tolbert doing this a lot. I don't think Tolbert's the guy to do it. I think it should be the Domingos and whatnot, but you kind of give it away. It is what it is. But I thought this was executed and blocked extremely well from all fronts. I want to start with the tight end side here, where you got Brevin Spanford and Luke Schoonmaker, who have been playing some good ball lately, right? Luke Schoonmaker. Now, Luke doesn't have really strong play strength, in my opinion, but he's a big guy, so that's enough as long as you can get in the way. He kind of gets walked a little bit here, but he does just enough. He turns just enough to impede the momentum from the defensive end right here, just enough, because if he doesn't get this block, the defensive end has a shot to basically get right at Rico Dowdle. But as you back it up here, the rest of the line, I mean, this is textbook right here, y'all. This is textbook duo stuff right here. Let's take a look. Let's start off on the play side with Chuma Edoga. Chuma, again, he did this very well all game. He was turning the defensive end, gets just enough of, look at the arm length here, just enough of Henderson. Now, Henderson is going to close the edge, but it doesn't matter. By the time he does, Rico's off to the running. But we got a nice duo block here. We get a nice duo block here. And then we're going to get Tyler Smith right up on 57. And now we just need Brock Hoffman to hold this guy a little bit. And we need Rico Dowdle to read that linebacker and make his cut. Let's take a look. Here's what I love about Brock. By hook or crook. Brock says, you coming with me, brother. I'm leaving here with something. You coming with me, brother. They missed it, but I don't give a damn. When you are a guy like Brock Hoffman, you got to get it by hook or crook. Brock said, come on with this ride with me, baby. And look at this hole right here. We get a seal here, a seal there, down the alley for a very nice gain by Rico Dowdle. Let's run it back, though. Take a look at Cooper Beebe and Tyler Smith executing a just perfect duo block. Look at Cooper Beebe driving. Look at them legs just driving. You going nowhere, sir. Seal, Ali, 27. Do you want the smoke? He really don't. Look at that breakdown. He really don't want the smoke. Make him miss. Get some extra yards. That's how you generate yards before contact. Once again, before Rico Dowdle is even touched, ladies and gentlemen, he doesn't get touched till he's 7 yards down the field. Just a very well executed play right here, man. Really good stuff. He pops off a 20-yarder. You love to see it. Swain said, what a hold. Hey, I'm leaving here with something. They missed it. And that's going to happen. There's a holding on every play. If you're savvy enough to just, he was savvy enough to grab that shoulder, pull him down with him, make it look like, hey, we just fell, coach. We just fell. And you get a good play here. You love to see it. This third play, another beautifully executed kind of short pull here, strong side with Lipke on the lead block. Short pull. We're going to get TJ Bass on that pull. Lipke leading here. But what really makes this work is Brevin Spanford and Terrence Steele securing this down block. And this demon that is Tyler Smith on an excellent reach block. Let's take a look at Tyler Smith real quick, y'all. Tyler Smith, for those who may not know where he at, right here. He is going to get an excellent reach block. This is what elite offensive linemen do. Vach, if you in here, I would love to know if you pressed that PH button when you saw this from Tyler Smith. Watch Tyler Smith on this reach, but what he does right before, watch him swipe it. You see that swipe? That's so that 93 can't drive to that left or his right shoulder to get upfield to get at Rico Dowdle. Just little stuff like that from Tyler. And then the athleticism, the quickness out of his stand. Boom. Turn. And now 93's dead. Just textbook amazing reach here from Tyler Smith. Once again, Chuma Edoga in the run game. I thought Chuma was doing some good things here, man. Watch Chuma Edoga just kind of throw number 58 out the club enough, a little bit. Or 59, I'm sorry. Just going to throw him out the club. Get down. Again, if Chuma doesn't do that, I don't know that this play breaks off the way it breaks off, right? You need him to do that. And then take a look at Brock Hoffman. Brock Hoffman is now at center. This is where Cooper Beebe went out with the injury. Brock Hoffman is going to be uncovered for the most part. He knows that, so he has to climb, get to the second level, and he tosses 57 out the club. And if he doesn't toss 57 out the club, ladies and gentlemen, Brock, I don't know if this play goes for 20-something yards. It might just go for 8. Whew. Just enough of 50, just enough. If he doesn't do that, 57 probably makes his play, right? Probably makes his play. But I love the short pull and the lead block. And like I said, down block here from these guys. Just excellent execution. What do we get, Cowboys Nation? A seal here, a seal here. Down the alley. Just, they put on a clinic. I mean, this might have been the best run blocking game of the season when you go back and watch this here, man. Good stuff. Rico finds it. This is one of those situations where we talk about if you have a good scheme or you have good run block and you don't need to have the I always say Adrian Peterson, the Adrian Peterson in the backfield. I can rip off a 20-yarder if it's blocked up right. Now, if I do have an Adrian Peterson, maybe it turns into a tutty, but that's a different discussion for a different day. This is the last play of the game. It's going to be a little bit longer because I thought there were multiple aspects to this game or to this play that I really like. It's 12 personnel once again, and we're going to use our tendencies from the beginning of the game and really all game to make this play work. It's going to be a jet motion, though, with CeeDee Lamb to the weak side and a zone run. First of all, Cincinnati is diabolical. That is Trey Hendrickson, a 6'4", 270-pound defensive end at linebacker, ladies and gentlemen. So they're trying to throw anything different at the Cowboys because the Cowboys have been running on these boys all game long. But the key details to this play, to me, is the jet motion and the release of the tight ends. I'm going to let this thing play out real quick, and you're just going to see this Grand Canyon size hole open up. Look at this here, bro. I mean, good Lord. It just opened up, and Rico Dowdle get downhill for that final 14-yard play. But, again, what I think makes this play, the little details of this is, A, the jet motion, and B, the release of the tight end. So we're going to get CeeDee Lamb on the jet motion, right? Making it look like we're going to hit a jet sweep. That's going to carry over the corner. But what it also does, if you look at this linebacker here, look, you see where he's looking, right? He's peeping this jet motion. So by him identifying that jet motion, to me, he's already going to play himself out to play because watch what happens at the snap for this backer here. He's cheating out. He's playing the jet motion, but doesn't realize, oh, he don't got ball. So there's no screen coming here. There's no jet sweep or nothing. But he takes himself out to play, and by taking himself out to play, he opens up this backside hole right here, right? But let's take it back a little bit more because, again, I think the release of these tight ends really, really helps sell this thing. If the tight ends release upfield, or if they kind of just play around and try to block here, we're going to play around and try to block here, you keep these defensive linemen in the trash, but they don't. They release first step outside, and that's going to cause really everybody over here to over pursuit and open up that backside. So first two steps in sync, just really good stuff here, detail wise by these guys selling this jet sweep or potential, screen or whatever. They sell it, and I mean everybody buys it. Every defender at that second level buys it, and that just allows for a huge hole backside. And when you look at this angle, the offensive line just does a great job washing. I mean, they're just going to wash everybody down this line of scrimmage here and help create, right? They're going to help create. Everybody's washed. Just really good stuff. And I don't know how you watch this, right? And I'll just let this play out for the rest. I don't know how you watch this Cowboys Nation or Mike McCarthy and you don't go back to something similar. This was the final run for Rico where, it mattered, right? That 14-yarder in the very next three plays, pass. It makes no sense because I showed you there was just 4 plays. There were other 7-yard gains. There were some good 4-yard gains, quality gains, the hard-earned 3-yard gain. There were some good runs in this game. They could not stop you. I've watched teams. You have watched teams look across the field and say, "Oh, you can't stop me when I'm running the ball. You can't stop this." And they constantly go at it. Hell, teams are doing it to the Cowboys. At the beginning of the year, teams is like, "Man, throw the ball 16 times. 18 times. You can't stop this." For whatever reason, they stopped themselves. I would have went back to the well. Those 4 plays, I would have ran those 4 plays in that final drive. Yep. So when you see Mike McCarthy over there with his Cane's chicken size menu playbook, and offense, if you're an offensive coordinator, you know how they work. If you play, they check, oh, here's a green mark, this worked. Here's what worked earlier. Here's what worked against. Flip that thing over, go, okay, these are the run. We got 12, 14, 27. This is what we're going to do on this drive. This is what we're going to do. At the very least, you live in second and short, third and short. At the very least. At the best, you can run the ball all the way downfield. 4-minute offense, kick the game winning field goal. Hell, score game winning touchdown. And you walk out of there with a victory, man. You walk out of there with a victory. But now Michael from Pittsburgh. Michael from Pittsburgh glitched. He must have mistaken Cooper Rush for Dak or something. I don't know. And went pass. And here we go. But I don't want to harp too much on that part. Those are some of the good plays, good run plays from the Cowboys game on Monday night. And a lot of it, offensive line, man. I mean, O-line was fantastic in that game. And then there were some plays where you just saw great vision from Rico. And this is not a knock. It's just whatever he got going on the last 8-9 weeks, vision-wise, is night and day from how he was performing earlier. And maybe it has everything to do with just the rhythm and flow like he talked about. But good stuff by Rico, good stuff by the O-line. That is something that they can continue to lean on, hopefully, moving forward. That is very true. Oscar, he's not known to be a ground and pound, physical type coach. That's very, very true. And that's why I never believed him when he said all that running stuff last few years. But at the end of the day, it's football, right? And the ultimate goal is to win the ball game. And I think 1 + 1 should equal 2. Okay. They can't stop me running. I'm doing a good job running. Let's keep running. I mean, it's not that difficult. You don't need to be, the smartest coach in the world to do that. Los, what's up with you, man?
Yo, good morning, Sky. I know it's been a minute from the show. Just want to say good morning. Many blessings to all Cowboys Nation, your family, and everyone. It's been a rough year, but it is what it is, right, Sky?
Hey, man, it's not like this is new. We've been here. It's going on 30 years, but we pushing through.
Yeah, it is what it is, and I'll just give you my 2 beans, and I'll leave it to it. But I think Cowboys have a tendency to play down to another team's level. and they haven't been able to imply their own will or scheme when they're a far way better team, right? And when you're against great teams, they just can't adjust. So whatever's happening to them, it's a flip of a coin. And I think you're well going to see this Cowboys team against these Panthers make it closer than it should be.
Are you talking just this year, or you mean in general? Because that's the opposite of what was happening over the last 3 years. We were blowing out all the bad teams. That was the problem. It was blowing all the bad teams out, Los. That's what everybody's saying, right? And it was the truth. We were.
Yeah, in general. So, I mean, I just feel that that's how just Cowboys play. And I feel that really falls on coaching. And, like, I've been and beaten about it since the beginning. I never liked Mike McCarthy. As what's his nickname with Toxic Tom, Chuckle, you know what?
Yeah.
But hey, I just hope that this team, just goes out there and plays for another opportunity. Whoever needs one, stay healthy. It's such what happened with Overshown this week.
Yeah.
Last week, and many prayers to him and his family and a good recovery. And last thing, I'll leave it to it, and this is my opinion, Sky. I feel that the Commanders' win is probably going to haunt them for the Hunter or Genty sweepstakes, in my opinion. However, that doesn't mean you're going to miss out completely on this draft. With the Hunter or Genty sweepstakes for this draft.
Hunter? Brother, you would have had to be in the top probably 5 of this draft. You were never getting in the top 5. One game ain't going to do it. There's like 8 teams that have like 2 or 3 wins. You were never getting into that. But Genty, I mean, maybe. But I think Genty goes outside the top 10. He might even go outside the top 15, to be honest.
Yeah, so I mean, it is what it is. I mean, hopefully, I will say it's up to the Jones to pick up a great player when it comes to the opportunity and not do that taco whatever charge. Oh, forget that draft in the first round. But yeah, it's up to them to pick up the good player and see where we land this year. But I'm all down for tankathons. I'm on that side. I am all for it. Let's just move to next year. So go Cowboys, DC for life, man. Peace out.
My man, appreciate you. Well, like I said, they'll organically tank. I mean, that's why I'm not either on either side. I'm just letting it play out, bro. Like this they will organically. Okay, now that they took this L to the Bengals. We're the people that were saying it was going to go off on this playoff run. And what was the guy the other day? And win 2 games and play whatever. Now that has happened, where's your confidence level on them beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Washington football people at the end of the year? I don't see it happening. They're going to be in a dogfight with the Panthers probably. So you're likely looking at either 5-12 or 6-11, and I don't even think 5 or 12 or 6-11 would have been enough to get you in the 100 range. To be honest with you, Los, I mean, we're talking about a kid that might go first overall. The quarterbacks may play a factor in this, but some of those teams don't need a quarterback. But he's going top 5. You were never getting top 5 unless you lost out from 3 wins. If you lost out from 3 wins, then you'd have had a shot. And as for Genty, again, we're going to have these conversations all off season leading up to the draft. I still think Genty goes mid first round. I don't think he'll go top 10. But this back class is so deep. I damn sure ain't tripping about if they don't take him in the first round. If they do, fine. I'm not going to cry about it because he's a fantastic player. But this class is deep at running back, and I'm still on the belief there are a lot of quality running backs that have really good skills. But what's more important to me is, do you have the blocking and the scheme that can capitalize off of these skills? Dallas get a better coach in here from a scheme standpoint and from a offensive line coach standpoint. Whether it's Genty or whomever, one of these quality backs that they draft, I think will have success. But I do think you need to complement said back with that as well, or it's just going to be another year of pulling teeth. If they bring back Mike McCarthy, be another year of pulling teeth in the ground game. You know? Swain said dog fight, yeah. It's going to be a dog fight. I don't really see the Cowboys. Come on, y'all. Y'all know what it is. Cooper Rush-led offenses don't score 3 touchdowns. Just doesn't happen. This could be the game, maybe. We'll do some Panther study today, and we'll talk about it tomorrow. I guess this could be the game. Swain said, anybody named Mike or Jalen, pack your hefty bags. The Cowboys do got this. I don't know what it is about Jalen. Jalen Smith, Jalen Tober, Jalen Brooks, Jalen Moreno Cropper. Same thing with Mike. Mike Nolan, Mike Solari, Mike Zimmer, Mike McCarthy. You on to something. Whole lot of Mikes and a whole lot of Jalen's. The only Mike I would walk him up in here was 2, but the one he's already a head coach is Mike McDaniels. Mike McDaniels will come on down, be my offensive coordinator. All right, did I read that super? Make sure I got to that. You said we hit on the Tylers though. Tyler Guyton, we waiting on that. He's a rookie though. We hit on the Tyler Smith. That's for sure. Biotish, that's a hit. I consider that a hit. I mean, I know a lot of people don't like Biotish, but 4th round center, 4-year starter for sure. Tyler Guyton, we waiting. What I find interesting though, I don't know if it's getting talked about enough. I would love for them to ask coach, because no one come out and said this. Tyler Guyton was active, but didn't play. So is he that hurt? Is this a benching? Like, what's going on here? This Tyler Guyton year has been really weird. I want some answers, because it's not Cowboy-like of them. I get it. He's had struggles, but a lot of our first round offensive line rookies have struggled throughout the season, and they've never been benched per se. So I would love to know what's going on with that situation. Is he healthy enough to play? But he's high ankle sprain, but he's active. Just really weird. I don't know how you're active a week later on a high ankle sprain, whatever it was. It's really weird. Keystone, a lot of people believe this too. Kyler's a right tackle, not a left. I said this, Keystone. I'm not sure if you was here the other week. I think that might be a tad bit overblown. Just my opinion. Because the things that Tyler Guyton struggle with now, he struggled with on tape coming out of college at right tackle. Right? Like those same things he struggled with in college at right tackle. So my belief is that even if he played right tackle, those same struggles would show in the pros, because now you're playing better players. According to him, he believes he's more natural at left tackle, but that's what he believes. I don't know if I take his word. I mean, I'll take his word for it, because if you go look at his college career, he only has 13 starts. So he is quite literally a ball of clay. He doesn't have enough time on task at left or right tackle to in my opinion, develop muscle memory, years of muscle memory at a position. So he's a big ball of clay. And that's why I was harping to the fans for months. This is a 2025 guy. He's going to go through his ups and downs in 2024. So if you go into the year with that thought process, I don't think any of this really is surprising. But if you went into this thing beating your chest that this offensive line is going to be better without the all-pro it lost and the starting center with 2 rookies going there, yeah, you probably like, oops. Oops. So, yes, see, well, I don't know if has he played 13 games already? Not quite sure, but 13 starts in college. That's it. He was a huge project. Huge. Oscar said Guyton are still at right tackle. I said this before. I'm okay with the conversation, but I'm not convinced they move on from Steele, and I'm not even convinced that they should right now. But I get the conversation. I get, hey, let's go in here. Maybe you go to him, hey, can we revisit this contract? Look to redo it, whatever. And that's fine and dandy. But the time we talked about this is so funny. We talked about it, and then now he's going in this on a run. He went on a run that was a bad run, giving up a sack 6 straight games. Now he's going 3 straight games, no sacks. He's still one of the best run blocking right tackles, and he only has given up 2 pressures in the last 3 weeks. I'm not convinced they move on from him. I'm not convinced that they should, but I'm convinced you could have the conversation. I am there. I'm not that naive. I know a lot of people, because of the struggles earlier in the season and middle of the season, get him up out of here. I get it, man. But much like last year, how's he finishing? And then go back and watch, reevaluate, and come to a conclusion. I'm not living in the emotional aspect of it. I'm trying to critically think about this situation here, because I tell you this. Let's just hypothetically do this, right? You move on from Terrence. They're probably not putting Tyler at right tackle. Zach Martin's gone. You have 2 positions you need to fill. You could say, oh, well, we'll just throw Awesome Richards out there. Oh, well, we'll just throw Brock Hoffman. That's fine. You are then now taking a hit to your depth, right? Now you hope that you can replenish your depth. And you can say, well, Sky, there's just depth pieces. Well, look at the Cowboys the last 3-4 years. They've literally needed their depth for long stretches of time. And if you don't move on from Terrence, at least you know at right tackle, you got a guy that's been through the trenches, been here. You had offenses that rank really high, right? Everybody said, oh, number 1 offense. He wasn't a liability in the playoffs. They can lean on that and say, well, we just got to replace one spot, and that's right guard. And they may say, we don't have to replace that either. And one of the things they love to talk about is continuity. So it's a conversation. I don't think it's black and white. I think you go to the table. If you bring back this offensive line, let's say you sign a guard or you put in Hoffman, now you kind of keep decent depth with Bass and Awesome Richards. But if you go the other way, Awesome Richards, Hoffman's your guy. Chuma's a free agent. If people don't, with Chuma anyway. Now you have to attack that depth, and I think you have to attack it head on, because you've been in a situation where you've had to rely on it for years. So it's an interesting conversation to have, and I get the conversation. Do I think the bad play of Steele early in the season was due to Martin being hurt all season? With that ankle, Martin stayed last week. He's been dealing with it since training camp. Well, Carol, he's been dealing with this for years, according to Zach Martin. He said, I've been playing on this for a few years now. Maybe there's something to that, but when it comes to pass blocking, no, I don't think it had much to do with Zach. They did struggle. Well, Zach did with the stunts. So uncharacteristic of Zach, but they struggle with the stunts over there. Straight up, just getting into your set, pass blocking, that whole stuff, and dealing with the specimens, dealing with the dudes. He just couldn't deal with them this year. They got the best of them, and we knew they were going through that gauntlet. They went through a gauntlet of guys, and he struggled with some of those guys, gave up sacks to a lot of those dudes, and it is what it is, right? When you go grade the 65 and not just the 5, it may not come out as bad, but man, those 5, right? Those 5 stick out, and they're not leaving people's heads, and I totally get it. Let's get to OG B. Bird. Good morning, good sir.
Hey, good morning, Scott. It's 2 days in a row, man.
I know. I'm like, is B. Bird on vacation? What's going on?
Not yet. I need to be. Hey, man. I remember this skit from In Living Color. It was Jamie Foxx, and he was going on a blind date. So, and he was looking jacked up when he was, going on a blind date. So when he sat down at the table, he was telling the date, hey, a lot of people say I look like Denzel. And she shook her head, no. And then he said, okay, well, I get you got to squint. And she squinted and said, no. He said, well, from the side? He said, no. He said, well, with the lights off. She said, oh, okay, I see it now. With the lights off, I see it now. The mental gymnastics that people are going to bring back Mike McCarthy, man, for content creators and media, man, it's getting what we're doing is, man, we're saying, well, he had these people hurt. He had it's just time for somebody new, y'all. Let's stop trying to do these mental gymnastics on how we're going to prove Mike is the guy for this job. He's not. He could be a guy for another job, but just not this one, man. I'm just kind of getting tired of it, man.
No, I'm with you. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't think. I think we've seen everything that we need to see to come away to the conclusion that okay, it's time to move on. That's not to say, and I know some people will say he sucks and things like that, and that's fine. Whatever. He might suck for what you want here in Dallas, but he might not suck for Jacksonville. He might not suck for Chicago. He might not suck for Cleveland. Whatever. But this organization, yeah, I just don't think he's the guy to get you over the hump because you. How many times have we said this, B. Burr? I say it all the time because I really appreciate you. You've been here. You literally were here on my very first live stream where like 10 people was in here. And I feel like since then I've been saying whomever the coach is has to be able to overcome those guys. I don't think he is enough to do that. You could argue maybe there's nobody. Well, guess what? I'm ready to find out. Okay, I'm ready to go into a game, a playoff,
and I think
series with an advantage at head coach. I'm ready.
Yeah, and I just hold on for 1 second.
Are you good? But yeah, that's one of my things,
yeah,
man.
I'm sorry. Yeah. So one of the things I heard is that that's what I don't like. Some people say, well, they play hard for him. Okay. Did they play hard for him? For one thing, that's the minimum, right?
Right.
To play hard for a coach. I don't understand why people are getting credit for it. Man, they play hard for him. That's the minimum. I mean, I don't get that. And the thing about it is, one thing I can tell you what they play harder for, their jobs, and that's why I said the level of fear has to be there, not the like, because you could play hard for him and try to save his job, but if it doesn't happen, you're like, oh well, let's go to 2025. And so. I just don't like when people say, "Hey, they play hard for him." I heard that with Garrett and everything else.
Right.
And I'm just tired of that because that puts us at a low. Like, oh wow, they play hard. No, that's the minimum.
And I love this analogy, or not analogy, but this saying from Jesse. I think they naturally run to the wall for him. They naturally do that because that's what you do as an athlete, right? But there are certain coaches that you run through the wall for. I'm not buying that they're running through the wall for Mike McCarthy. Look, he is a player's coach. I know he's liked by a lot of players in that locker room. You can be liked by a lot of players in that locker room and still lose the locker room. What do you mean, Sky? They can like you. Oh, yeah, Mike's a great dude, man. But your message is going and falling on deaf ears. There's no one afraid, we talked about this yesterday, of losing their jobs or being held accountable from messing up or screwing up. But we like Coach, though. Like, we really like Coach. Yeah. You know, Coach is a great guy. He talked to my family. I go sit down at his house when we go to Pittsburgh. He asks about my daughter and my kids and, you know, just a really good dude. But are you afraid that you're going to lose your job if you don't run through the wall for him? Nah, not really. Are you afraid of not doing your job well enough because you're going to lose your job? Nah, not really. So, yeah, you can like them all you want. But I bet you, you know, what Mike has to say week in, week out, them dudes is like, all right, man, whatever.
Hey, Scott, kids love the substitute teacher that let them color all day, too, right?
Right.
I love ice cream. You know what I'm saying? And so, but some of these things just ain't good for you. They don't get the best out of you. And so you need a teacher to challenge you, man. And what ends up happening with that teacher, you mad because they give you homework every day. But at the end of the year, when you go to the next subject, you're glad they pushed you because they got you prepared. And so that's what we need, man. And these guys, I don't think really sometimes, man, this is going to be I'm going to say this, and a lot of people are going to disagree. I don't really think in this organization you have anybody here that can really say what's right for this team. If you're on this team, you can't really tell what's right for this team because you've never taken it or went to a championship before. You don't know. If
you are an OG on this team, you're right about that. I think Dak mentioned something like that when they asked him about, hey, how do you feel about that whole, you know, circus thing or whatever? He was like, to be honest, this is all I know. I can't speak for outside of this organization because I don't know how other organizations do it. And it's so funny because when other players go to other organizations, they say, oh, wow, this is different, you know, here, which obviously we know is going to be different. But you're right about that aspect in the sense that one of my favorite coaches, Coach Richter, was not a guy that I liked when I played under Coach Richter. I did not like him at all, but he got the best out of me. He taught me some life lessons that I teach to my kids right now. But during my tenure or his tenure, and I played under him, I couldn't stand him, right? But then as I got older and understood, I'm like, man, you know, he really did get the best out of me. He really did teach me a lot of things to carry on, and it's no secret to why he had success throughout his career as a coach. But all those other coaches you talked about, yeah, I mean, those are the coaches you run over, or teachers or whatever you run over. So yeah. That's a good point.
So Scott, two things. When I was in basic training, it wasn't even my main sergeant. It was the one under him, Sergeant Parker. Drove the hell out of us. It was mean as all get out. But I remember him. He got me in shape. He got me ready. He got me everything. In that process, I couldn't stand him. Nobody could. Well, I was kind of scared of him too, but because he's a big dude. But that's the one I remember. Man, he was memorable. The other ones I don't remember because they kind of let us you know what I'm saying, they wasn't as tough as he was. And I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna ask you this. Well, I'll make this statement and you can kind of expound on it. I think that if you're an organization in the position that we're in now, and you're not evaluating all the people that's going to be here next year, right now, in this extended, could be preseason, you're doing yourself a disservice. If you're out there trying to play all your starters and win games, and you got these guys on a bench that you don't know what they really could do when the bullets, you have a bullets alive against Washington and Philadelphia. And I can't remember who the last person was on there. But you got an opportunity to play offensive line. You got an offensive to play wide receivers. You got an opportunity to get good tape on these guys, man, for hopefully the next regime could come in and have tape that they can look at them and evaluate these guys prior to the draft and prior to free agency. So I think that a smart organization would just kind of trail over into that right now and forget, all this, win by any means, blah, blah, blah. I understand that as players, you're not going to do that. But as an organization looking into the future, especially with the Joneses, because they got 30 years into the future. But they should be changing over to that mentality right now, man. And I'm going to let you go, and I appreciate the conversation.
Thanks, B. Bird. Appreciate you. Yeah, you could argue that's something they were maybe trying to do by trading for Jonathan Mingo. Boy, I just. But yeah, trading for Mingo, and when you listen to their explanation of it, it was, well, we got that extra year, and we can get him in here, see how he looks, et cetera, et cetera. But I don't mean to go back, but what if the next coach doesn't want Jonathan Mingo? You know what I mean? So you just traded a 4th round pick for what? But that's again, having to try to deal with what is above this organization. Talk about it all the time. Coaches have to overcome the front office, but front office is putting coaches that really aren't that great. And then the players have to overcome the coaches and the front office. And yeah, while you might have some all-pro players, that is still really hard to do, because once you get into the playoffs and things like that, you're not playing the Washington football peoples of the world. You're playing some quality opponents and some quality coaches, and they may match serve with you from a talent standpoint. And if they get close enough talent-wise, but they have the edge coaching-wise, well, we know that outcome. Let's get let's get Poindexter and $100,000 to close out this thing. What's good with your Poindexter?
Hey, what's up? Hold on just a second.
All right. Poindexter.
Hold on.
Hey.
Hold on.
Oh, this is a walk. Hey, Poindexter this is a walk, Poindexter. I had to put you in the penalty box. You a referee, ain't you? $100,000. What's up with you, big dog? Hey, man, you can't come up here and talk about, hold on, goddamn minute, man. I'm about to put my order in there, man. Just hold tight there, Poindexter. I got to put you on the bench for a few minutes here, Poindexter.
Who show this is, man?
That's my guy.
That's
What's
funny,
up,
yeah.
I give him some time. I'll give him some few minutes to get himself together here, man.
I don't care who the coach is, man. The Joneses put the coaches at a deficit because the Joneses come with their game plan and what they want to see. And the coaches, the Joneses undermine the coaches. So if the players see, boy, that coach ain't got all the power that he talking that talk, but he ain't got no power. I know he don't. I can go right to, I don't care. Everybody keep talking about Bill Belichick and how he going to come in here and how he's the right guy for the job and he's going to come in here and bring that discipline. No, he's not. He's not. And everybody keep talking about, well, back in the 90s, and stop talking about the 90s, man. It's over for the 90s. Stop talking about that.
No, I agree with that part.
When the 90s happened, Jerry Jones was trying to build the marketing for this team. So he let the coach be a coach because they needed to win so Jerry Jones could build the marketing. If you don't win, that marketing is not being built.
That's a good.
So it's not that.
100 grand. That's a great point, man. And it's like, I'm with you. I'm so over comparing what happened in the night. Like, this is a totally different ball game, bro. And that's the problem. We often do that. When I say we, the front office, Jerry often lives in the past. But can I go back to the Bill Belichick thing for a quick second?
Go ahead.
While I agree on the surface, I don't think Bill would want to come here and be second, third, fourth fiddle. I don't. But on the off chance, which doesn't look like it because he might be in North Carolina, on the off chance, if he sat down, got through the interviews, and got hired, I do think Bill would whip some of these guys into shape or provide more of that stern hand. And you could say, well, is Jerry going to undermine this or that? I feel like Bill would fight back. I just don't believe he'd be able to get in the building to do it, 100 grand. You know what I mean?
There
I don't think they hired him.
That tells you right then and there. And Jerry Jones would hire Bill. You know why? Because the fan base wants it. And in order to get the fan base back, what do you think Jerry would do? Hire Bill for that reason.
Oh, he'd be a fool.
But then when Bill comes in here, I'm telling you, when Bill comes in here, and we're like, boy, I think the game passed Bill by. That's what we're gonna be saying. What's going on with Bill?
Well, it's already been said though.
Jones.
It's already been said about Bill Belichick in the game passing him by. You know what he did is to end his career in New England. I don't think that's new. I don't. I look.
But
we
Cowboy fans look at Bill as, man, Bill's the only guy that can come. Nobody can come.
Cowboy fans look at Bill in that light because of what Bill would do to the Joneses, and that's why I said they'd be a fool if the Joneses are looking at or listening to Cowboy fans clamoring for Bill Belichick. They're missing the point. The whole point of bringing in Bill Belichick is to shut your asses up. That's the whole point, is to push you out of the meeting rooms, is to push you away from decision making, is to get rid of everything that you're currently doing. So if Jerry and them are truly seeing the idea of Bill Belichick, of being here, they wouldn't really want Bill Belichick. Now, he talked highly of Bill. I don't know if you saw that yesterday. He was, man, Bill Belichick is... Okay. Yeah, he is all of that. You're right. But if he get here, I truly don't believe Bill Belichick will just sit back and take it like a good guy. I don't, bro. I feel like this thing would come to a head very fast, and it would be a quick relationship. This is not going to be Bill Parcells sticking around for 4 seasons. Absolutely not. I feel like Bill Belichick will be out of here right. I mean, I'm talking about a year, brother. If they get there and Bill says, all right, you promised me I can do my way, and Jerry starts being Jerry and Steven is Steven, I can see Bill Belichick like, man, I'm out of here, bro.
Okay, then what if the inverse happens?
What
are we going to say?
What's that? What's the inverse?
Let's say Bill Belichick comes in here and he's just like Jason Garrett. He's just like Mike. Then what are you going to say about Bill?
I would be shocked. I would be extremely shocked if he comes in here and he lays down like Jason Garrett and Bill, and he doesn't have command of this team in that manner. I'd be extremely shocked, to be honest. That's just not his MO.
Then I wonder, will Cowboys Nation finally say, you know what I'm saying?
But aren't they saying that now? Aren't we all saying the jump? We know the, where's my button now? We know the politics, we know the power, we know the undermining. We all are in agreement of that, right? Well, there are some people that put the cape on for the Joneses. Where is that guy, by the way? And there's some people who believe those, the Joneses are great at their job and things like that. But majority of Cowboy fans understand that they are impeding this organization.
That's crazy, man. We'll definitely see, but Scott, man, we'll figure it out when it gets here, man.
Yeah,
we'll figure it out when it gets here. All right, man.
All right, guy, appreciate you, 100 grand.
All right.
Yeah, The Bill one, I think, is the most interesting one because he is the one guy that he ain't for the BS. People are saying Mike Vrabel and things like that. I think I don't know that Vrabel could do the same thing that Bill could potentially do from a y'all hate this word, from a culture standpoint. Vrabel was a solid coach in Tennessee. Bill has skins on the wall. Yeah, Vrabel's a big guy that scared people apparently. But Bill ain't got to be big to scare you. Amani, I said back away from the ball. What's that, coach? You see these 6 rings? Where's the other one? Back away from the ball. You know what I mean? But that's just one example. All right, let's get I had to give a tech to Poindexter. You only got one more tech left, Poindexter. You can get ejected. What's up with you? Oh, man. Oh, Poindexter. Tech! Poindexter ejected up out of here. Oh, what? You there? Hello?
Oh, my God.
Bro. Hey, man.
Oh, my God.
Hey, come to the table. Come to the table. Coach, both coaches to the table. What's going on, man? Your phone messing up? What's happening? Just talk to me.
Can you hear me? I must be muted.
I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Oh, yes, I can definitely hear you.
Good boy,
Okay. Hey, man, look, just like we said in March, we knew this was happening. You know, we knew this team would implode because the thing is, we don't have the talent. We had a chance to go out and get the talent. It don't matter if your team play hard. If you don't have the talent, you don't have the talent. We don't have enough of hymns on the team. Overshawn was one of those hymns, man, and we lost him. We lost a lot of hymns this year. And you know, when we talk about coaches, you know, Bill Belichick, man, Bill Belichick hanging out with them young chicks, man. The man is skeeting dust, and he's still hanging out with these young chicks. You hear what I'm saying? It's like.
What you mean, Bill Belichick got them pocket full of blue chews? What you talking about? Bill said, "You ain't gonna catch me lacking."
But then, you know, then we say we get a young coach, man. But with this team, a young coach would get ate up like catfish. You know what I mean? Because, you know, when Jimmy first came, he had a chance to get the growing pains and come into his own.
Yeah.
I don't think the fan base, the front office, has the patience for that. That's why we try to get a coach with the skins on the wall and stuff and everything. We don't have the patience to try to build a team. It seems like we at all. You know, everybody, you know, well, we're going to suck at this and suck at that and whatever. But we saw this in March. It was just, it's so painful, man, because we knew we was in for a world of hurt this year. We knew this. And then the injuries came, you know, and everything. It seems like we just pissed off the football gods, huh?
That part right there. Like, I think we all collectively knew this team wasn't a Super Bowl team. Most fans could figure they compete for the playoffs. But the injuries, I think, have taken this to an entirely different height. And this has been unprecedented, brother. I joke about this, but I was going to do a segment on this. I feel like the Cowboys, I got to make a graphic, for like the last 10 weeks have literally lost a player to either injured reserve or significant time each week. Yeah. I mean, you go back to right around John Stevens. I think it happened in October. And Dak Prescott, right? Awesome Richards, Kalen Carson. Before that, Marshawn Nealon, Brandon Cooks. I mean, if you want to go back to training camp, but just the season. Brandon Cooks and DeMarcus Lawrence and Michael Parson and Stevens Jr., Dak Prescott. Now DeMarvion Overshown, Carson, Awesome Richards. I mean, it was every week. Marquise Bell, Josh Butler. Every week somebody is going out for extensive period of time, and I'm just like, who the hell did we piss off this year? We didn't even do nothing in the offseason to piss off the football gods,
man. That's what we did. We pissed off the football gods.
We didn't do nothing in the offseason, Coach. We just was chilling.
Yeah, and that's what.
Zach Martin,
as I said,
Ron Bland, just bang, 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 bang. It's just been an unprecedented year for injuries.
But we messed up on one of the best free agent classes that came out in a while. You know, draft classes, free agent classes, they ebb and flow. Sometimes they have a good class, and I think last year was it was so many of them out there, man. You look at the players that we got, and you look at the free agents that was out there, that was a definite upgrade. And we didn't sign our people to get the people out there, you know. And, one other thing before I get out of here. Yesterday, I sent you a super chat. Hello, can you hear me? What are you laughing at? What's up?
Because, bro, Oscar said, so I don't know what you was doing when you called Poindexter, but Oscar said you had a Michelle over there or something. He said he said you was pulling the Shannon Sharp. That's my Michelle.
Man. I'm gonna tell you the truth, man. Look, I just got up. I missed your show yesterday. This is what I want to tell you. I missed the show. When I woke up and I put your show on, you were saying push the button. You hear what I'm saying? Yeah. So I sent in a super chat real quick because I wanted to tell you. You saw the old movie The Mac with Richard Pryor and Max Julian?
What's it called? The Mac?
The Mac.
I did not see that, sir.
Okay. Well, you had to see it because I made a Mac reference and you didn't get it. And what happens is the Mac gets another pimp and he make him stick himself with his own knife. And I put it in there.
There you
stick
go.
Yourself, Jerry.
Stick yourself,
and
Jerry.
You said something like, stick it up. Yeah,
I ain't know what you were talking. Y'all think I'm old, but I ain't that old. I didn't see that one. I didn't look. Look, let me tell you something. That is a requirement. You got to see the Mac. And if anybody in the chat know about the Mac, they will tell you. You have to see the Mac. The oldest Richard Pryor movie I might have seen besides his stand-ups was like maybe See No Evil, Hear No Evil, or I think The Toy was one of them, but yeah, that might have been the oldest one I've seen, and I think that predates Harlem Nights and stuff. So
that's one of those blaxploitation movies.
Okay.
Yeah, and here he's the master pimp. Okay.
Let's hear no.
And he catch this dude and he make him stick himself. So I'm just saying,
I Hear No Evil was 89, so it didn't See No Evil, Hear No Evil. So maybe it didn't predate Harlem Nights.
Oh yeah, that's back in the day. I was a young dude, and I'm real old, so I was a young dude when that came out. So yeah, it's a real bit.
Oh,
but
the Mac is that old? I got you. I'm gonna put that on my list, man. Oh, that's 73.
Put it on your list, man.
I ain't that
old. but look, let me tell you something. It's been a family. You know, my son, my nephews, everybody. There's people in my family that 18 years old. They got to see that because that's where the game first came.
Okay.
Mac got game. You hear what I'm saying?
Hey,
Richard Pryor said, "How does a man get a woman to go out here and get her arm broke and out here and then bring all this money to this man?" And Richard Pryor said, "It's because you got game."
You know, this look like
game. I'm talking about all them other foods.
This look like the original Pootie Tang or something. I'm looking at some of the pictures right here.
Well, you know, Pootie Tang and stuff like that. All those was, those were spoofs of the older movies.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's why I said original. Yeah. This look like it's like a parody of a blaxploitation type dip. And yeah, this is some OG type stuff. This is what my pops and them was watching. Uh-oh. Poindexter, you there?
Okay, let me go on and get out of here and say, "Hi, Cowboys."
Another tech. All right, man. Appreciate you.
All right, man.
Yeah, we had to get another tech, man. Hey, I appreciate Poindexter though. He still got the energy. And plus, now I know about a new blaxploitation movie. That's the one I have not seen. I've seen a handful, but not that one. Oh, Belichick, is this? Never mind. Let me just research this real quick. Okay, no. Nothing new. Man, good stuff. Oh, Dolomite is great. You're talking about the new version, right? You're talking about Eddie Murphy. Like, that was good. I like that one. We did get Sully, who dropped 5 in the chat.
Super chat.
Said the fact that Guyton is a ball of clay is furthermore reason you need a good offensive line coach to mold him now and not have to remold years down the line. Yeah, I mean, I think we all in agreement here. Solari got to go. If they bring back Mike, I'm afraid they will bring back Solari. Offensive line coaches are usually responsible for the run game. They're usually responsible for the scheme, the schematics of it. The offensive coordinator / head coach, though, I think is responsible for how you're going to do X, Y, Z. And that's why certain coaches like a Kyle Shanahan, Matt LaFleur, like these guys are very Ben Johnson. These guys are very hands-on with their run game because it is so important to how they throw the ball. It's so important to what they do. I don't think the Cowboys give a damn about the run game except for hitting a number. So it's really not important to them. But if you get a guy who can marry both the run game to the passing, run game, whatever, Reed's another guy like that too, then that offensive line coach can mainly really focus on doing said coaching of the offensive line, as well as coaching the how. I think Solari is just, hey man, duo inside zone. That's all we do. But there are techniques, and this comes from Duke, that he was teaching these dudes in that last year or 2 years ago, whenever he got, I think it was last year, where it wasn't working for a lot of these guys. You saw Tyler doing things, and we were doing, Terrence was doing things, even Tyron Smith. But Tyron is Tyron. He probably was like, yeah, you can teach them, but I know what I'm doing. And you still kind of see it with some of these guys, but that's why I personally think that's why Duke and Solari got together, because Duke privately coaches all of them, probably most of that offensive line room. And then you go back to Mike Solari and you're doing different things, and Duke and Solari had to be like, all right, look, man, I know you were helping these guys privately, but how about we try to make this thing work? And well, there we go. All right, no more super chats. Tomorrow we're going to get into this Panthers matchup. And you know, I'm a little bit more excited to get into it now than I might have been 5 weeks ago, because Bryce Young's playing a little better. They pushed the Eagles to the brink. I'm going to watch a lot of that film. Chuba Hubbard, really good. Oh, did y'all see what happened to Jonathan Brooks? God damn. Talking about ACL injuries. Tore his ACL in college. Tore his ACL again last week. Non-contact injury. And look, I'm gonna be honest with you. He was a guy I was interested in the Cowboys selecting at some point, but I know the injury. A lot of people was like, I stay away from it. Which there was a lot of other backs you could have took. But here's the reason why. I don't know if it's the same knee or not, but man, that sucks for Jonathan Brooks. Talented dude that may not ever really get a chance. He also lost, I believe, Miles Sanders too. So yeah, I'm talking myself into taking a look at this Panthers offense. So we'll look at that tomorrow. All right. Maybe we'll bring in 2i too. That'll be fun. All right, Cowboys Nation. With that said, on your way out, do me a favor. If you enjoyed today's show, hit that like button. Share this thing. I'm really going to be asking y'all, like I said, some news. Stay tuned for that over the weeks. But hit that like button, share this content, and let them know where to go to get your Cowboys news and takes and laughs and all that good stuff to start your day. With that said, push the goddamn button. All right, man, I'm gonna push it. Wait. Did this dude just jump up in here? I just looked over. The Q dude jumped up in here. We in overtime. Q, we did the show all day, but I mean, Q, if you want to call into the show, you can call into the show, brother. I done press the button and everything, but I'll run this thing back for a quick second. Hold on, we'll run it back. 351-999-3787. I mean, Come on in, sir. Would love to hear your take on, I believe you're like cousins of the Joneses or something like that, right? Was it cousins or second cousins, extended family, something like that? Come on in. 3-5. I don't know. I unlocked the conference and everything just for you. Just for you. Q probably been watching this thing all day, right? Then I hit the button.
Push the goddamn button.
Copy paste. What's the number? Oh, nah, Q, you not gonna get it. No. Come on in, brother. Come on in. I know you was watching the show. I know you was just waiting for me to
push the goddamn button.
What's the number to call into the show? We do not do that here. You want to come on in, Q? There's the number right there sitting on the screen. 351-999-3787. Would love to get your thoughts on some of the conversation from yesterday. Now, Q, I ain't going to be sitting here all day now, brother. I mean, it don't take that long, man. Toxic said, don't entertain it. No. No, Cletus, come on, Cletus, no. Shouts out to y'all if y'all know what I'm talking about. Yeah, Scope. I mean, Shaq, he gonna wait for the last minute. Tupac. Hey, Q. That's crazy, Q. How you gonna close out the show like that? Very underrated, Swain. All right, man. You kind of losing me here, Q. You're kind of losing me here, brother. I gave you the opportunity to call on in. I don't know what you got going on, if you got work happening or whatever. He said, show the number. I'll show the number again. I mean, I had the number up there for 3 minutes, bro. 3-5. Y'all, the number scrolls across the screen. Y'all show. Right? Let's get the people what they want. Hercules. All right, man. All right, Q. Not cool, bro. Not cool. Wanted you to come up in here and get your thoughts off. We'll try this again tomorrow, Q. But I'm gonna tell you something right now. If you do that thing, if you do that again, you just I ain't gonna see you in the chat. You just gonna be there, brother. I'm just saying. I know, Swain. I'm just saying, no. All right. I'll press this button again. I mean,
push the goddamn button.
Nope. Still ain't calling. I stop this. If it pop up, I'll stop it. I promise you, I'll stop it. It ain't pop up. All right, love y'all. We out of here. Peace. Once I press that outro music, we gone. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. You can holler at me tomorrow, Q. Nah, Matt, I ain't see the match. It is on the watch list, though, man.
Bomb Squad!